here with Priceless Realty in Cape Coral. This is the monthly market report as to what happened in May of 2024 for single-family residents only within Cape Coral. I'll do one for Fort Myers as well. So typically the middle of the month, which we're entering almost close now, it's June 11th, we do get the data that shows what happened over May of this year. Probably the biggest thing that we've seen, if you look at what's in front of you here, the median sales price at $396 is the lowest we've seen it since about January of 2022. So January 2022 was right at $400. It's actually dropped below that. So that's the lowest median sales price we've seen in Cape Coral in over 2 years. Closed sales, as you can see right here, was 554. It's actually a bit higher than that. I think it was 561. We'll take a look at what is sold on the higher end and what is sold on the low end, just as a matter of interest on the range. And the median days on market, so you can see, is 50 days. We've had quite a few new listings that have come on. I showed 871. Probably the biggest significant change that we've seen over the last couple of years is the number of homes that we've got in the market right now. This showed as of May it was 2,835. As of June 11th, it's a little bit less than that. I think it's like 2,780, so it's dropped slightly. But we seem to be holding at that high 2,700, low 2,800 range. We've done that for the past couple of months or so. But the biggest thing as we've seen is the median sales price is down from, like I said, I think last month it was about 415. Let's take a look here. Yeah, it was 417, 450. So we're down about 5% from where it was the previous month. And unfortunately, we continue to see evidence of prices continuing to drop. And I don't necessarily think that's going to change anytime soon. Some factors, obviously, that we're having some issues with is the amount of inventory for sale. But there is a lot of scare tactics I'm reading and even seeing people posting on YouTube. This is 2008 all over again. Florida's got way too much inventory. What people don't seem to understand, that the inventory we have right now in single-family residence is pretty much what it was probably around about 2014, 2015. That was a relatively more normal market, but it was somewhat 10 years ago. But what we tend to forget is that what happened 2 or 3 years ago when we had inventory in the 600-700 range was not the norm. That was totally abnormal. And obviously prices went up considerably, because I know about 10 years ago our median price range was probably about $250,000. So we've gone up quite considerably in the price point right now. For example, I have a customer that's given some thought to selling a home. That they have a home they bought probably about 20 years ago in the 500 range. They have a $300,000 mortgage on that right now, and the base payment with the rate where it's at, it's just between $1,500 a month. But based on what's selling right now, if we look at rates where they're at, if we look at where prices are, where taxes, insurance, that same house would cost them about $6,700 a month. So that's a big jump from what they would have bought it at some years ago to where prices are right now, with the raise in interest rates, with the raise in taxes and insurance. All makes it a pretty expensive home to buy. So obviously the pool of buyers is not like it was years ago. So we're starting to see that too, all that coming into play is making it somewhat longer and somewhat difficult to even get a home sold. And in some cases, homes are getting multiple price drops. They're on the market for some time. We're seeing them come off. On average, each week, we're seeing about a 12 to 30% price decrease in the value of homes over time. The listings I've got, we just reduced one today. I'll do another one today as well, and that one has had a number of price drops too. So it's been kind of hard trying to figure out what is the price point homes have to be at in order to get them sold. But let's take a look at what we've got here, see what has sold on the low end and what has sold on the high end. But it's interesting to see that, again, as it points out here, that we saw a 5% price decrease over the previous month, but compared to May of last year, it was also 5% down. So it was holding relatively steady in the low 400 range, but now we dropped below that 400 range, which is good for buyers. We shifted into a buyer's market, but obviously we're not seeing indication that the Feds are going to make any changes to rates anytime soon. And basically, wherever the Fed does, doesn't necessarily affect interest rates. It's how the T-bills, the treasury bills, react to whatever they do. And right now the T-bill is being on the high side, so rates are probably up again. So I think it's going to be a couple of years, maybe 2 years or so, before we see rates come down any significance as well. So it is a bit of a tough time. It's not a time that if you as a seller are in right now, you may get friends saying, why is your house not sold? Things are selling fast. Well, this is not the market it was a couple of years ago. It's vastly different, and it's taken a lot longer to get things sold from what it was. So let's take a look at what is sold on the low end and on the high end, and just the amount of interest, and we'll do that now. Okay, so this is what we've got closed as of May. It was some 561 properties is what that was. So let's see if we go by price, see where we're at. Okay, so our highest price home was listed at $3,800,000. This was a property that was on the river, as I recall. Yeah, Southeast 12, that's quite a nice property there. It sold at $3,700,000. So didn't come up a whole lot off the price, but it may have been had price reductions over the time it was on the market, which it did. Originally it was listed at $4,125,000 and ended up selling at $3,700,000. And that also was a conventional sale as well. But that was a really nice home built in 2022, really nice pool area. Let's just see what the number 2 one is as well. So this one is up in the northwest section, though this is Southwest 39th. It is above the Pan Island Road. So this area slightly above Pan Island Road towards Mount Lachey is still the southwest. Because if I look at the map here, you can see that it's right by Pan Island Road going into Mount Lachey. That was quite a nice property, listed at $2,940,000. And it sold for $2,750,000. And let's see if that had price reductions on it as well. So yeah, listed at $3,400,000, was dropped down to $2,950,000. That's quite a big price drop, and sold for $2,750,000. So that's almost what, a $700,000 difference from what it was listed at to what it sold at. Then we've got one down in the Yacht Club on Sorrento Court, a new construction built in 2024. Listed at $2,750,000, sold at $2,590,000. Again, did we have any price reductions? Yeah, originally listed at $2,850,000 and then dropped $100,000 and sold for $2,590,000. So let's take a look at where we're at on the low end. Let's see what happened with that. So we've got a home on Santa Barbara Boulevard. This one right here. Not a whole lot to look at. Pretty basic, obviously entry level. Listed at $225,000, did sell for $185,000. So again, that was quite a bit less than what it was originally listed for. And I had it listed at $260,000 at one time, which is quite high. And then had it at $225,000 and sold for $185,000. And then our next one is again another one listed at $225,000, sold at $190,000. And that was originally listed at $285,000. And ended up going for $190,000, so that's close to $100,000 drop in price on that one. So it kind of tells us that both the low end and the high end, that probably sellers have been somewhat unrealistic at where the price points are, and also agents may be struggling trying to figure out what price are homes selling and how long is it taking to get sold. So here we've got one listed in the southeast. This is in 33904 zip code, I would think. Yep. Listed at $229,000, sold at $220,000, but again, it was listed at that, and but wasn't on the market very long. So that one pretty much sold pretty close to the asking price on that. Sometimes it's kind of interesting though to see on the new construction end, if we go 2023 on US, so we've got 561 homes that closed last month. How many of those were built after 2023? So let's take a look. 23 plus. Okay, 196. So if we say 600 sold, 200, so almost a third of the homes that have gone on a contract have been new construction. So new construction continues to play a big part in our real estate within our location. So let's see what happens to move that to 2024. So 129. So that's still quite a big number of homes that have gone under contract or on new construction. So let's take that out and just see where saltwater access, what went under contract out of those 561 homes that were listed for sale that closed last month. So we had 108. So basically about a fifth of what closed last month was waterfront. But what I want to do here real quick is just go back to the 2024 bills. So 2024 bills right now, as I said, we had 129 that went under contract. But let's just see how many of those are currently pending still. So we got 216 new construction pending out of a total of, if we take that out, 777. So there's 77 homes currently pending right now within the Cape on single family residence. So as we said that on 2024 we have 216, so to what? So not a little bit less than a third currently under contract, which is still quite a big number when we look at it. But if we go on the active, we've got 633 homes right now. There are 2024 builds. So new construction right now represents about 22% of the market. There is some indications though that some of the big builders are probably, I wouldn't say maybe they're panicking, but they're doing what they can to get the home sold. They're in a position in which they can do rate buy down. They're offering quite a bit of money towards closing costs, and some are coming down in price as well. So some of you, if you have an existing home that maybe about 20 years or so, you may find yourself somewhat competing with a new construction out there, because obviously if they're being offered lower interest rates, that's going to be an incentive to a buyer. The insurance is going to be less as well, both on the homeowners and on the flood insurance too. So new construction does play a fairly big part in our market, and no doubt will continue to do so in the years ahead as well. So that gives us a basic summation of what's going on in the Cape Coral market in the single family residence only. I could do one with other areas, but single family is pretty much a focus, because what you see represented there, you'll see the same thing whether it's multifamily or maybe it's condos, that sort of thing as well. So that's right with that. If you have any questions about the market, what's going on, I've been selling here for almost 25 years. I've probably closed close to 1,000 properties. I've sold quite a bit so far this year, even in what has been somewhat of a difficult year too. Great communicator, people like me, easy to get along with. I'm a short guy too, so pound me in the ground if you don't like me. Don't do that, please. But if you have any questions about the market, let me know.